Good evening, everyone. It's Thomas. I'm going in kind of TDAWG mode later or something. I don't know. So I've got this live out to everyone. Even if you're my friend or not, you can, in fact, watch this video from here at my beautiful house in the, or beautiful apartment in God's country of Oconee County, South Carolina. So thank y'all for watching, and I'm not going live with anybody or anything. Just watch, just wait, and I answer questions later. So yesterday marks 3 months to the first event from Heroes to Legends Wrestling there in Silva, North Carolina at the National Guard Armory. And so, if I've mentioned before, Heroes to Legends Wrestling is a product between myself and Randy Wayne, Chad Jones, whatever you want to call him. I'd always told him if he came back to North Carolina, I'd run wrestling shows with him. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm really excited about it. We have an incredible roster of talent, probably the best I've ever had since the Omega days. The first show we've got. And if you're wondering, I'm handling some of the booking. Chad's handling some of the booking. It's to raise money. It's in honor of his cousin Danny. We're raising money for a number of different things. And his cousin Danny, she's a young lady who died with drug issues a year or so ago. So we're doing really nice things with that. And I told him, I said, the only way I want to do wrestling shows is to help other people raise money, because that's the best thing it can be used for and the best thing for wrestling. I mean, I like to think of it as a ministry in some ways and as a public service in others. And y'all, I'm new at this. This is only the second time I've done a live thing, so bear with my camera skills. I know today was National Selfie Day, and I sure didn't take a selfie. So we've got a great lineup of talent, and keep looking at our Facebook page, Heroes to Legends Wrestling. There's Heroes to Legends Wrestling on Twitter, Heroes to Legends Wrestling on Instagram. And I don't handle the Instagram and the Twitter stuff, but I am an administrator on the page, the Facebook page, as some of you have found out. But I'm really excited about about what we have planned. So we're not going to announce any matches now, although we know the matches. Only thing I'll tell you, we've got a great tag team in Jeff Conley, the closer Jeff Conley, and Travis Lee, who's, I don't know, is Travis like 6'8" or 6'9"? And I have another great. I wanted Rock and Roll Express, right? I want my version. I want me a nice, good white meat babyface tag team. Not necessarily white guys, but it did end up being white guys. So I knew one of them was going to be Maverick Summers from Memphis, because we've been friends forever. He was trained by Allison Danger and Aris. So I mean, he's worked in Japan and in the United States and stuff. So he's a great guy. Adam Moraine. I love using veterans, and I mean by veterans as being military veterans. I love getting this in there. So I knew I wanted Jeff and Travis as my big heel tag team because I think that we have a great dynamic. They've done some work at that Innovate Wrestling, what used to be NWA Smoky Mountain or whatever you want to call it. They've done some stuff together, but I'm a smarter booker than a Givens is, so obviously I'm going to use them as a tag team because I'm smarter than the supposedly other the other people that are big on the indie darlings, which, well, I helped invent them anyway, so I don't care anything about indie darlings. So I've got them, and along with Maverick Summers, I asked Jeff Conley. I said, Jeff, do you have a young, do you have somebody that could be my Ricky Morton? And he said no. So there's a couple of you that I had thought he might mention, but because you either don't have a good enough look or you are too far up your girlfriend's twat, well, you ain't going to be working for me, baby. So there you have it. So I got Tyler Thorne, who I've known since he was like 7, 8 years old, when they used to live here in South Carolina. So I said, okay, I told Chad, I said, I want to give him a chance. I did have him. When I talked to him this past weekend, he said, oh yeah, well, Jeff watched my match I had Friday night. I said, yeah, because I asked Jeff to watch your match and tell me how you did and how things were going. So he impressed Jeff, and so, okay, so we're going to put that together. So I'm going to tell you, that will be a tag team match. Tyler Thorne, Maverick Summers, and I hope y'all come up with a tag team name because I'm the worst at doing that stuff, against Jeff Conley and Travis Lee. And y'all need to come up with a tag team name too, because again, that's not my area of expertise. Although I did like Rogue 6 when y'all did that thing. I don't know who came up with that, but there's only 2 of you for Rogue 6. Other people, we got, of course, Randy Wayne, the Outlaw Randy Wayne, who's phenomenal. Also from North Carolina, we have Josh Cutshaw, who is, and everybody, so Josh has like a beard and crazy hair, which everybody kind of knows I don't like, but when you wrestle like he does, yeah, I love that. And if you're wondering about it, I've been a big fan of Josh Cutshaw's for a long, long time. He worked for me years ago as Ross Vegas. He worked for me in Ultra Wrestle 4 years ago. And anytime that Murray Happer sends me a message saying, hey, have you ever seen this Cutshaw guy? I'm like, yeah, dude, I've used him for years. And he's like, oh, well, he's great. So got him. Trying to think, North Carolina folks. Crucifix, a guy that I remember when he was training. And I know it's an HVW, Chris, and I'm sorry, but he's turned into a wonderful wrestler. He's worked for WWE some, and just does a great job. So I'm really looking forward to see him again. Tracer X. Tracer X, another fantastic guy from there in North Carolina. Trying to think who else we got. I know we're going to have Savannah Evans and Kenzie Page, who is one of Dr. Tom Pritchard's trainees. And I hope that we'll have a good relationship. Dr. Tom, like, to me, is my mentor as far as what goes on in the ring wrestling. And so I hope we'll be able to use some of his trainees because they're just in Knoxville. So we're definitely keep an eye on them as things go. Also, another guy that I really am high on that we've got is Patrick Scott. He is from North Carolina. He lives in Nashville now, and he's worked for me before when we ran Ultra Wrestle. He's done some of the PWX stuff. And so I'm really, really excited to have him. And we have Tyson Dean from Georgia. He runs the Good Brothers Luke Gallows training school. Another old friend of mine, Luke Gallows, and Tyson. I think Alan Barry, he told me about Tyson when I was just wrapping up the Ultra Wrestle stuff back 4 years ago. Yes, 4 years ago. So I'm really excited about things. We've got a lot of excitement. So we're going to try to run Silva in that area and even probably move over after the first of the year to around Hendersonville. And that'll be my thing. Hendersonville, so anybody say anything, Hendersonville's my doing. It's not, don't blame Randy Wayne about Hendersonville. That's some of my doing. So I've got friends over there that want to raise some money for their high school wrestling team. So and I'll talk a little bit more about somebody who screwed the pooch on that a little bit later. So again, Silva National Guard Armory, September 20th. September 20th. No, maybe it is. Yeah, September 20th. Some days I get the days mixed up because I'm getting like July 20th. July 20th WWE SmackDown's down in Columbus, Georgia. So hopefully I'll be off my skin grafts are working well. So hopefully I'll be off my knee scooter and able to go to drive and walk into SmackDown and see brother Matthew. And if y'all haven't been watching what between Matt and Drake Maverick, Rockstar Spud and stuff, the stuff they have been doing is hilarious with the wedding and everything. And to me, Drake Maverick, I've never met him, but he's got to be one of the greatest sports in wrestling, from the wrestling Maxwell and then the stuff at his wedding. And I mean, it's great. Y'all talk, people talk trash about WWE, but this stuff is hilarious. And if you get a chance to go, I got some friends in Montana tonight, Rick O'Connor and Joan O'Connor. They're going to the house show out there. Cedric's there. My boys Revival are there. So, I mean, I know those house shows are the absolute best. And I just so happen to know the guy who books the house shows. And he's a genius. He's a wrestling genius. I've learned a lot from him. And King, great work as always. You never hear anybody complain about a house show from WWE. So again, September 20th. Is it September 20th? Yeah, I think it's September 20th. Again, I get all this stuff is confusing. Is it? Randy Wayne, are you on? Is it September 20th, y'all? I think it's September 20th. I know it's that Saturday, and there will be some surprises coming. There's some things I'm working on doing. I will say this. Everybody that has been booked for the show has been booked for the show. We're only doing 5 matches. We've got 1 referee. We're not going to be, and I talked to some of y'all about managers. We're not doing managers. So I hate to disappoint anyone. We just want to do a good old-fashioned pro wrestling show. Okay? I can go ahead and tell you, when you come to the show, you're not going to walk in and we're not going to have a 30-minute promo at the beginning of the show. We're not going to have a promo at the beginning of the show. That's why, yes, September 21st, y'all. Thanks, Mama C. Thanks, Marianne. Mom Carino. So, September 21st. Okay, so it's about 3 months from today. See, I'm just so crazy. I just get, it's backwards. Messed up. Saturday is the 21st. Okay, so September 21st is 3 months from today. I thought it was yesterday. Again, I get all my stuff mixed up. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We've got some surprises we're working on. And, but again, we're only going to have 5 matches, no managers, no long promos. I would assume that Randy Wayne will probably say some words or something. Because everybody knows at my show, if you grab that microphone and you don't have permission from me, I got the kendo stick. I'm getting new kendo sticks, so I'll have my kendo stick at the show to take care of my business if I need to. But I've got just a fantastic group of guys and young ladies, and I'll go and tell you, Randy Wayne is Chad's taking care of the women and his stuff, and I'm the tag team guy and the spot monkeys. So I mean, not that we've got, but because you know, guys like Tracer X and Patrick Scott are amazing. So I mean, I really don't have that kind of thing. So you just expect a good family-oriented wrestling show, and I'm so excited about it. We're just going to do some exciting things, different things. Try to use, I don't want to, and I go out on YouTube and go onto the SOS Custom Network and watch wrestling. So I'm trying to do stuff that nobody's booked. Like I told my buddy Heath Mullican, I told him one of the matches I'm doing. He's like, wow, nobody's done that. I said, well, they ain't me. That's why. I mean, I said, well, I know they have people who haven't done it, because I asked both the guys, if y'all work, no, we're doing it, yay. Guys want to work each other, they want to work good people. So and I know from our pay sheets, we're going to be paying phenomenal. So we're gonna do something different than what everyone else do. I want superheroes. I want people that the kids are gonna love. You got to get the women and kids in. I've been watching it. Have y'all? And I guess I'll start on my TDAWG rants now, since I've gotten through the selling point. Although it is September 21st. Silva National Guard Armory. Silva's beautiful. The Dillsboro barbecue is near there and stuff. So I can promise you, Thomas Simpson gonna be eating him some good barbecue. And I gotta go ahead and announce 2 matches: Tyler Thorne, Maverick Summers versus Jeff Conley, Travis Lee. Savannah Evans versus Kenzie Page. Everybody's already booked, so unless someone gets hurt, dummies. So don't get hurt. Don't do stupid stuff. So that's we've got everybody booked. So if you're on the webpage, on the Facebook, I think except the announcer has not been. The guy doing the announcing has not been announced in the referee, but I mean, so I guess Randy do that. So he's handling that stuff. I've played that before. He's better at that than I am. But we're really getting along great. We're going to have a fun time, a great time. So, like I said, July 20th, I plan on being at the SmackDown House Show in Columbus, Georgia. I've actually never been to Columbus, Georgia for a SmackDown show. I did do a great wrestling story. I've been through Columbus, Georgia once to a wrestling show in Phoenix City, Alabama. And it was me and Team Craption. And we went there, and we got in the parking lot, and Marty Jannetty was asleep in the car there. And I remember that show because Bull Buchanan was on it, my old friend from back when he was an indie wrestler in Asheville, out of Asheville. Rosie was on the show, the one of the Samoans who's passed away, unfortunately. Again, wonderful guy. Raven was there, and my personal favorite was Sherry Martell. She was there, and I'd known Sherry, been around Sherry a lot, and so there's somebody who is a kind of indie darling around here now. Ethan Case. Ethan Case. And by the way, PWX, are you ribbing me? Ethan Case and John Skyler being tag team. Now Skyler's got some skills, but Mr. Throw the he gives out the streamers to throw for himself. Ball it on in. And then let me go ahead and tell you before I finish up the story. So anyway, so Ethan and this guy were the guy he was wrestling were going over the match and stuff. And the promoter, I have to give him this, he didn't draw diddly squat, but he had a good spread in the locker room. So he had like cheese and crackers and some meats and stuff. So I was there eating stuff, and Sherry comes over to me. And if you've seen Sherry, she was not crazy Sherry in real life. I mean, like, she was more like, she was just a laid back sweetheart of a lady. And she comes over to me and puts her arm around my, on my shoulder and stuff, and picks up some something to it. She said, "Thomas, baby, can you believe this shit we're listening to?" And so they were playing out all this stuff. She said, "This is going to be rotten," and it was. But even again, so so that was great. So I want to go down there and see that. Other things coming up, October 5th in Batesburg, Leesville. One of my young proteges, Cole Maccabee, is going to be running his first show of Pro Wrestling Union. People think it's actually in Union, but it's not in Union. It's in Batesburg, Leesville, at the Leisure Center. Brady Pierce, who lives and runs a gym there, and Batesburg, Leesville, is going to be on the show. Randy Wayne's on the show, and I suggested to Cole. I said, "Hey, why don't you book?" Because he's in Columbia and lives in Columbia and does stuff. Ethan Case. Well, y'all, apparently, Ethan Case did not want to be on the show because Cole told him up front I was going to be here. So apparently, just me being at a show means that Ethan Case will not be booked, does not want to be booked on the show. Now, I know I'd heard for years that the boy was scared of me. And Ethan, my God, you thinking about stuff where me and Kirby Mack beat the living hell out of you and Lyle Case, that nasty, rotten piece of garbage super law, who I won't be in the same building with. If you want to talk about people I won't be in the same building with, Super Law, Viper, Michael Judas. Yeah, because they've all done bad things to my friends. But you won't be in the same building. But brother, I'm 50 years old. I got an AARP card. I've had 5 bypasses. I only got half a foot. Did y'all see the foot? You see the foot there? Yeah, see? I've only got half a foot. My God. How can you be scared of that physically? My goodness gracious me. See? Only half a foot. So, brother, what you scared of? Certainly can't be what I do in the ring. And there ain't nothing worse I can do. I'm talking trash now. Ain't nothing worse I can do to you that your own belly ain't done. Yes, and I do want to mention, I've said I wouldn't shut out people. And we do have, if anybody's worried about Heroes Legends, we'll have a licensed emergency medical technician, my buddy David Sharp, at the show. So my buddy David Sharp, I'm proud to have David. I've wrestled with David before on shows. David Sharp, he's going to be in our locker room, and he will be there for medical assistance if we need it. So praise the Lord. Okay? So we got that going home. Tell what Judas did. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. My buddy Donovan Loftus, he used to run the NCW in Greenville. And this has actually been 10 years ago, right about this time, because I was in Columbia at USC for a workshop. Then that's when I was working at USC. So, and by the way, Heath Mulligan, I'm doing your shoot interview now for free. I didn't want to give Boomer and Bryce any money, but I'll get to them shortly anyway. So anyhow, Michael Judas just comes in, and for whatever reason, Donovan's like knee high to a pissant. He's just short. I love him, good friend. I think it was last Friday night he called me and we talked for like an hour, but he punched him and stuff. And Donovan, he was a good enough man not to make sure he was thrown into jail big time. But there's no sense in it. So so that's why I wouldn't fool it. I have nothing for Michael Judas. And now they're running shows over there at Battle Zone Wrestling over in Greenville. Michael Judas, the Sons of Steel, birds of a feather flock together. And let me tell you about my heat with Bryce and Boomer. Okay, and Boomer, actually, I'm not going to blame so much Boomer, because I think it was mostly Bryce, because he had a promoter's license. So in 2015, we were running Ultra Wrestle. Okay, let me go ahead and tell the Ultra Wrestle story. Why it went where it went. So we ran the show in Abbeville, 1st of August, where Steve Carino came. And then we ran a few weeks after that. Sharon, Sharon, I'm sure you were at that show. It wasn't the one where I moved you out at ringside, but then again, I had a lot to drink then. I don't drink anymore. So we ran the show there in Abbeville, and then we ran a few weeks later in Greenville with Matt Hardy at the Kroc Center, drawing a huge crowd, bigger than Pro Wrestling Turbo Twat has, or Ronnie Gossett, the Cowboy, has drawn there. So we had the play. That was when Matt came in. So I gave Tyler, Keith, TK Stark the gate money, the 5% fee to send to Columbia, to the Athletic Commission. He handled everything in Greenville with the Matt stuff, so I would assume he would do that. Then we had another show in September in Lawrence, and I gave him the gate, and it was a benefit, 5% of the gate to send to Columbia. Well, somewhere between there and stuff, he didn't send it in. And so when you don't do that, they start fining you $250 or so every month. And I'm like, well, why didn't you send it in? I forgot. He did not want to accept responsibility. He did not want to be held accountable for it. And they would try to run a wrestling show at a strip club that, was it Landon Strip? Yeah, the Landon Strip over there in Greenville. But no, we couldn't get licensed because he lost his promoter's license. And he had to pay this kind of money and stuff. And it was like a year and a half. It was, I think, May of 2017 before he even got his wrestling license back. And he pays the kind of, he got all mad at me because, boo-hoo-hoo, you can get me out of this if you want to. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Because of the strip club thing. Because apparently they ran a wrestling show at the strip club. I don't know anything about that. But then again. But he cried about it. He's always a crier. I heard he went to Japan. He's going to teach in Japan. Now he's back home. I don't know if his visa wasn't any good. Or maybe they just knew that he didn't know English well enough to teach English to Japanese people. And I know for a fact if he'd gotten ring over in Japan, they'd have beat the hell out of him. Because I know Japanese wrestlers. And they'd have stretched him 3 ways to Sunday. He'd been filleting himself very easily with the stuff they would be doing. So anyhow, that's why I have heat with Tyler Keefe. Moron. And that's why, and on to Bryson Boomer. So I gave Bryson Boomer, because they were doing Battle Zone then, the Plum show in South Carolina at that time, which was the Ricky Chastain and Ricky Regal Toys for Tots benefit in Lawrence. I was supposed to run it that year. Well, because TK Mizark lost his promoter's license, and I was sick and tired of wrestling and dealing with the wrestlers and stuff anyway, especially him, that I said, well, Bryson Boomer, why don't you go do this? Okay. And I knew how much the money was they were getting to run it too. Okay, so I know these things up front. I know these things. So they decide they're going to pay all of the guys $40 each. Now, when you got Dion Johnson, who lives there in Clinton, and is going to bust his hump to promote the show, because I know because he did it in Union, for Derek Vanderford, he did it for me in Lawrence, and he'll go the extra mile for it. You going to pay him the same thing as you go pay every other Tom, Dick, and Harry? Absolutely not. And I don't blame him. I told him to go stuff it too. And I told them, no, you can't do that because you got people that will go do the extra mile for you. You got others just going to come up and stank up your ring and get that paycheck. So I see at the show they started putting things on, and they were doing. I think they were maybe doing some Facebook Live stuff. So I see they have these big, beautiful Battle Zone banners that they spent Ricky Chastain's money and the Lawrence County Sheriff's Department money on. And then Ricky Regal had to come out of his pocket to get Dion to come there and do things on the show. Now, what do you think about people like that, my friends? They're liars, thieves, and no good rats. You're stealing the people's money. And I am channeling Ernie Ladd here. And I will do it several more times tonight. And then on top of it, and so I'm sick and tired of Bryce anyway, because he brought that wife of his, and I don't like that. I've had heat with her for years. I've got as much heat with her as I got with Ratley. And that's all interconnected too, by the way. So as far as I'm concerned, Battle sucks, and all of them can go suck it. So hopefully they'll fall out of business sometime, or just retire and stop stinking up the wrestling business. Again, this is more Bryce Anthony, or Bryce Anthony Driggers, and I gave him the name Bryce Anthony, by the way. He used to be Gravel when he first started. So there you go. I bring Angelina Love to town. William Scoggins talked to Tanner Stone. He's bringing Angelina. He's having a show. I've got to talk about his show anyway. Pay him for it. Pay Angelina Love to bring in, but don't bring in Bubba Ray Dudley. You don't want that kind of heat like he's doing with people and stuff. I know you want Angelina Love. Y'all get somebody other women that are good looking, hot women. So yeah, she's got too much baggage with her now. Though God bless her, I love Jamie. I do. I love Jamie. She's a sweetheart, darling. I do love Jamie. Okay, so that's what happened. And so then after they misuse the money, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, and then they go on their Sons of Steel podcast they had. Do you think they thanked me for giving them this show that they've obviously pocketed a hell of a lot of the money out of? Well, hell no. And I'm not using any too much bad language here, so no, they didn't thank me once for it. And you see this? This is my right hand. And do you know how many people this thing has fed in the wrestling business? A lot. And it got bit. And you only get one chance to bite that hand that's been feeding you. No. That was it. I ain't going to do no more business with them. I'll go ahead and tell you, when you for Heroes to Legends Wrestling, if you want to see the video, you don't have to go to Sons of Steel Custom Network. You can go on YouTube. We're not doing wrestling to put it on, sell some DVDs, because we ain't using a bunch of indie darlings, that the fat, pimply guys that want to play wrestler, and we ain't going to have any of that on my show either, let me tell you. Want to have. We need to let people see it. That is a marketing tool. And that's why we're smarter than everybody else. You might make money off of it, but what happens if 20 years from now, or not 20 years from now, I guess 10 years from now or so, these people, or 5 years, these people become big stars and stuff. So, I'm serious. So somebody might want to come and take our footage away from us. Yeah. For some big money. Somebody like VKM. The VKM money, very good. Very good. Yes. Yes, it is. So anyhow. So that is what happened with me and the Sons of Steel. So I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about. So I've talked about, we got Cole Maccabee's show. This pro wrestling union down there. I think he's got a real solid card from what he's talking to me. Some good people on the show. I know he's got the Soul Patrol, Deion Johnson, Sweet Dreams. Sweet Dreams, the first Omega heavyweight champion. Back, 22 years ago. 22 years ago next month, I ran we had the first Omega show. July 25th. And then a week later, 8 days later, I actually met Steve Corino. He came with his little baby boy, Colby Corino. And now Colby has his own baby boy. And congratulations, Colby. I'm real proud of you, kid. So, Cole's got a pro wrestling union. Like I said, Brady Pierce is going there, Soul Patrol. I know Cole's wrestling. He's got Big Country. He's got Josh Powers. Got Randy Wayne. I think that Nathan Cross guy that ticked me off last month and then apologized after the fact. So, you just have to say it should be a good show. It's USC, University of South Carolina is not playing. They're not playing that night. So it's their bye week. And I'm trying to think who else. So now let's get to the Tanner Stone's wrestling show in Abbeville on Saturday, November 2nd. And hopefully, and I don't know who he's got booked yet or anything. I don't know. We've talked about some things. But he wants to be a red show. I'm going to tell Tanner, just like I told Cole Maccabee, if y'all screw this up, I'm coming and taking it back. Well, at least, Cole, when you run Union. If you screw it up, I'm coming and I'm going to take it. Tanner, you screw up Abbeville, I'm going to come take it next year. I ain't doing anything this year. So don't screw up my towns. That at least for Union, that me and Derek Vanderford and Deion Johnson, we done made it for you. Don't done yourself out of it. Tell a Stone. Don't done yourself out of Abbeville, but then again, I'm going to wrestle on the show. I should be well enough to wrestle for a show. Me and Randy Wayne, I think, are going to team up again in some tag team. Who do y'all want to see me wrestle? I know you're probably going to say John Schuyler and Ethan Case, but I don't think that would ever happen in a million years. I think Schuyler would do it, but we know Ethan Case ain't going to do it. There you have it. But anyway, I don't know who. And another person I'll go ahead and tell you will not see, because Tanner and I have already discussed it. You will not see Hoss Haygood on the show. Abbeville folks, I know you might like Hoss Haygood, but Hoss Haygood would rather, I got to get something to drink, and I talked myself out of it. Hoss Haygood would rather give birth to a 20-pound flaming porcupine than to be in the same building with me. Now, why is that? No, the 20-pound flaming porcupine is Jim Cornette, actually. Maybe it was Ernie Ladd. I don't know. Anyhow, so why is that? So after Ultra Wrestle, we were going to do a show in McCormick, at McCormick High School, for my friends Bobby and Stephanie Hamby. Stephanie was teaching down there then. So we were going. So the show got canceled. So the show got canceled and stuff because TK Mark couldn't get his promoter's license and stuff, and didn't tell me like the week before the show that he was all screwed up, and I did try to help out and stuff, but no, I don't know what the deal was. So anyhow, and it wasn't going to do anything anyway, so I'm not going to waste people's money that they're given for things. However, so then that gives Hoss Hayseed, John Andrew Haygood, what you want to call him, or Shane O'Grady, he was originally like some 300-pound leprechaun, although he's too big to be a leprechaun. Sharon Sharp, I know you remember that. From up there in Greenville. Do you remember? I think that maybe the night I mooned you was the night that me and somebody beat the living daylights out of Hoss Haygood and Lance Gaylord, but it wasn't. I was fine with Randy Nichols, God rest his soul. But Hoss Haygood, I kind of roughed up a little bit. But anyhow, that's back when I was full of that piss and vinegar, right? So anyhow, so Hoss with his friends, Bryce and Boomer, and the only reason I ever booked, and I liked them both at the time, Bryce and Boomer, was because Hoss Haygood wanted them, and I thought he could draw in Abbeville. And it drew in Abbeville, but I realized later on it didn't draw because of him. Because he's like, well, so we're going to run Calhoun Falls. I said, well, that's fine. And you knew I'm trying to run wrestling shows and stuff, although I ended up not doing it. So we're not going to do business again. And so he got his panties into wad, right? He got all upset because I said that he wouldn't even speak to me at Lance Gaylord's Randy Nichols funeral. And that's fine. But Hoss, it's my business if I want who I want to work with, I don't want to work with. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But you ain't working in Abbeville. And let me tell you what happened when they ran the show in Calhoun Falls. So between me and Joe Cade, with my buddies Benji Greason from the WZLA, we had like 450 at that show in Calhoun Falls. So Hoss Haygood and his buddies come back. That was June of 2015. So they come back there, what, March or April, and they don't have but about 100. So, and they tried to sell, I remember they was trying to sell tickets at Jimmy McNatt's store. Didn't sell one ticket in advance. And then he decides, okay, we're going down to McCormick and run at the high school. I think it was some church doing or something. 25 people. Battle Zone Wrestling. Only place they can draw is in Simpsonville, South Carolina, because Bryce gets all of his buddies from the Walmart distribution center to come in. But yeah, I'd never used them, but they had good matches. Why? Because they were people like Trace Reyes and Josh Cutshaw. TK Stark, The Mark, and Jet Black. Jet Black, he was really excellent. So he carried that stuff, man. Let me tell you. So that's it. So you won't be seeing the Hoss Haygood in Abbeville unless he wants to wrestle me and Randy Wayne. Might could arrange that one. But I ain't gonna count. Like I said, he don't want to be in the same building with me. He was up here in Walhalla one time at a show, and a Mike Warsham show and stuff, and I came in there in the locker room, and he ran away. Stay away. He said something to Dion Johnson about, and he was supposed to have a gimmick table over by Dion's gimmick table, and I was running Dion's gimmick table. Oh, he didn't want to come over there, and Dion's like, "What you doing bringing him here?" And I was like, "What you tell him, Dion? What you doing bringing him here?" I said, Dion's like, "Oh, he brought himself." So I mean, just wusses, just wusses. So that's fine. Do your own thing. But anyway, I do plan on wrestling for Tanner's show. I'll let Tanner talk about his show. I'm just going to be talent on that show. I've given him some ideas and stuff. But his creative process and mine, I don't think they jihad, though. I think he's gotten kind of understands in the last time we talked about wrestling, he's done figured out what is good and what is not good, wrestling-wise. So, I ain't telling that whole story there. You want to tell some of your stories? But let's keep other business out of it. I know there's some people wouldn't mind taking a whoop on you, some wrestling folks. So yeah, just be careful. Just like Steve Corino said, don't sleep where you crap, and don't crap where you sleep, unless you're Matt Hardy. That's one time. Anyway, so let's see. So now let's talk about other matters. So I am still doing in TDAWG mode. So let's talk about what's been going on with this Heroes to Legends. People wanting to book it. So I was thinking, as my Ricky Morton kind of babyface, I had seen on this NAWA wrestling, I had seen this guy Leo Pride. He's originally from Hendersonville. And now let me tell you about this NAWA wrestling. I think it's trying to be like Ben Throckmorton used to be or something. I don't know. But and Michael, I like Michael Elliott. I've known him. I've wrestled him before when he was a wrestler. He's one of the people behind it. Jason Freeman, who's a promoter, a nice guy, really good referee. He's the Golden Gladiator. He's the drizzling shits. So anyway, this show is like one of the absolute worst wrestling shows you could watch on the internet. It comes on Saturday at noon. It premieres Saturday at noon. You got to go watch this because they have some decent guys on there, but it's like having some decent guys on there. It's like still putting lipstick on a pig. So it is rotten, absolutely rotten. Everything, even the matches between the good people are rotten, just because you've had to suffer through all the stuff. And I'm sorry, some of y'all might think the same thing about our show when we do it. But I'm willing to bet history's proven you won't. But it's just, it's just rotten. So, but I'd seen this Leo Pride, and he looks like he's in good shape. And so I mentioned about, because I had my idea, okay, I could have Leo Pride and Maverick Summers. because Leo Pride is from Hendersonville. I know we got something going on in Hendersonville in a few months, early next year. And like, well, I can use him. So I have messaged him. I told him, okay, here's where it is, here's the day, and here's how much I'm going to pay. $50. And he's not even been in the wrestling business a year. That is a gift. I know people that at wrestling first year, they didn't even get a hot dog and a handshake. We might get a handshake. But then he says, can you make it 80? I don't know, and let me just go say this. I'm going to go ahead. I know I might get some heat for some people for saying this. This attitude is endemic. Endemic. And synonymous. Synonymous is the word. Of a certain level of George South trainees. And y'all, I'll go ahead and say it. I'll say hey to George. I'll shake George's hand, but I ain't a George South fan. And I'm going to go ahead and dispel some myths while we're here at it tonight. So let me dispel the myth of George South's training, the High Spots Training School. And I can't say anything bad about High Spots. Because if you go and train with George South, for every one good wrestler that has come out that said, I've been trained by George South, there are about 50 that are the absolute biggest shitbags. And that's all you can say about them. On earth. They don't know a wrist watch from a wrist lock. Okay? They're terrible. And let me go ahead and dispel some rumors about people. So, they have two training classes. George's class and Jake Manning and Caleb Conley's, and when Cedric Alexander was there, Cedric's training class, and that kind of those people. Okay? So if you go on the Wednesday night, I think it is, or Tuesday night, whatever night that Jake and them are there doing stuff, you'll learn a lot because they all know how to wrestle good, doing silly stuff and on. Jake Manning, Caleb Conley. I don't know who else who does stuff. I think James Drake, he knows something. Although, Drake, brother, I love you, but you are going down the path of me, and you're going to end up having a heart attack and stuff as fat as you're getting. You need to lose the weight, my friend. I saw you, and then you're also doing the jacket thing like George does. Are you kidding me? You did that down at that show with that goofy Cameron Cade and that idiot guy down at IWE or whatever it is, that crazy preacher guy from the Wrestling for Jesus. Jesus weeps when he sees that crap, friends, let me tell you. Jesus condemns that. I can tell you, that's got it for a fact. So anyway, so you're looking at, so George South, these people think just because they trained under Mr. Number One George South, which you got that from Paul Jones, that they have done something and they deserve more money. Hell no. You deserve money when you can draw money. What are you thinking? And you come up to me, I've been in wrestling business 26 years. You ain't even 26 years old, kid. And you're asking for more money already? You domed yourself out of a booking, fool. Maybe when I run Hendersonville, I might use you. But I ain't paying you $80 for it unless you work your tail off promoting. So I got that goof. Then I got some people coming to send me a thing from Florida. Right? So they come from Florida, and they got some kind of stupid looking hair thing. They're going to be down at Myrtle Beach at that Outlaw Mud show. And Eric Gibson, if you're watching this, it's the one I put the weeps, the sad about that show. And your promoting friends, I guess they got butthurt by it, and they tried to send me a friend request. Well, and this is on here. This Facebook Live. Everybody in the universe can watch it. So I am not, except wrestling promoters, I am not going to be your friend. I am not your friend. I am really not your friend unless you are doing the good business. And bringing a bunch of outlaw mud show goofs up from Florida doing this comedy stuff, it ain't, no. I was nice enough to say, no, guys, I'm not going to book you. We're full up already. There's no way on God's green earth in a million years I would ever book these guys. They ugly looking, they fat. I don't want ugly and fat unless you're 6'9". I'll take it then, but not some little midget, some little boy from Florida and stuff. No, I'm not booking that junk. And I ain't booking all this funny crap either. These ha-ha things, no. Real wrestling with real wrestlers and not some comedy show. This is like what I want to see. Like when I fell in love with wrestling was in June of 1978. It might even been this weekend. So you're looking at 41 years ago that I watched wrestling. I went to Greenwood Civic Center. Now, I didn't like the light over the ring thing, but all they had were the barricade was 4 poles, and they had a piece of string, and I'm talking about twine through them. And it was it was 5 matches maybe? No frills, no anything. I know some people people want to see all this kind of stuff. No, they don't. People want to see real. They don't want to see what they watch on the production they watch on TV. If you're paying $5, $10 for a ticket, you don't. Do you expect to come and see all these flashing lights? I remember when I used to run ACW years ago, and we spent $2,000 on a trellis, light setup, fog machine and stuff. Got a glittery curtain, like a sequin curtain and stuff. And this was at Georgetown High School. Where the guys were coming from the locker room and stuff, and it would blow, and we'd open the doors, and open doors come in, the wind would blow it up and stuff. You're wasting money. It's a waste, because I can tell you, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy coming out of just a door at the Southern Pines or Sanford National Guard Armories, people still watch that stuff 22 years later. So don't tell me people need to see these fancy things and stuff. It's just like having a set arena thing. I can't stand that either. I tried it once and didn't make money, lost money on it, okay? So that was my one failure in wrestling, was trying to do that arena thing. A waste of time. And it makes people lazy. It makes guys lazy. You ought to be there setting up a ring. If you got an attitude, what I can tell you about this Leo Pride kid and anybody else, if you got an attitude, it's because you have not set up enough rings in your career or in your life. You pay your dues. That's setting up and taking down rings, putting up chairs, and people don't know how to set up chairs right either. So, but then again, that's stuff I show people. And so another person, this guy Brandon White, and I know he came from. Thanks, Tyler Thorne. I know he's one of your buddies from out yonder in Tennessee, in middle to West Tennessee. So he's a guy in overalls, and so he says a thing like, "How did I get booked? How did I get booked on your show?" I said, "I can tell you this now," and I did screenshot and put them there. A fat guy in overalls is something that we are never, ever looking for. And I've seen him on USA Championship Wrestling. That, and I hate to talk bad about Burt Prentice because he's a great guy, but Burt's show and NAWA are tied for the worst weekly wrestling shows on YouTube. Because it is the absolute. I mean, they do have the best. USA Championship does have the best termed person, Big Gravy. But I've had enough. Big Gravy has been buried to me so much that I can't even pop. I can't even pop for the name anymore. So no, no. Look at our roster. Look what we've got up there. And that you'll see what we're looking for. I have jacked up heels and baby faces. I've got rough looking heels. I have fabulous technicians. I have guys, when they do the high spots, they do the spots, they know when to do them. They look like $1.5 million. So what do you see on our website, on our Facebook, on our Twitter, not website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, what do you see other than, obviously we're some nice people because we're raising money for things, and Chad knows how to get to big sponsorship money. What do you see on there that would make you think in a million years that we would want your Outlaw Mud Show goof ass on our show? Seriously? Serious, folks? Y'all must be smoking crack. Because we don't make it that stupid. I mean, come on. So don't expect to see like a big, pretty light show and things at our show. I've just absolutely positively refuse. I don't care about. I mean, I know some people. It's younger folks that are younger wrestlers. They lap that up. No, I ain't never done it. I ain't never going. I've done it. It don't draw money. You want us to have all that stuff? That's fine. We'll give you the $25, or maybe we can go down to the $5 Georgia money. And then we can have all that stuff you think is so good. But personally, me, I would rather be able to give the wrestlers a fabulous payoff. Fabulous payoff. And have a full house of people and just see good old, honest, old-fashioned wrestling. Professional wrestling. That's what I want. And by God, if I'm running it, that's what I'm going to have. Now let's talk about what the future holds. What people I want to work with. Because you see these people, they make these lists of folks, right? I want to work with so-and-so. Well, who do I want to work with? Well, because Randy Wayne put up there, we got the James Drake we want to have in. We got the Gregory James from out in Texas. Thunder Rosa out in Texas. Y'all probably know her from Lucha Underground and stuff. I think we might have her in sometime. Ryan Kidd out on the West Coast. Brother, we got some big stuff we're kind of working on for next year. And so these people I'm talking about, I got ideas and plans and stuff. Because there's some good sponsorship money out there. So I've got him, definitely John Hudson, Mr. 3% body fat from up there in Michigan and California. If y'all wonder about John Hudson, his daddy is Brett Hudson. And his uncle is Bill Hudson from the Hudson brothers from the 70s. Bill Hudson is the father of Oliver and Kate Hudson. Their mama go to home. John is Hollywood royalty. Now, why Vince hadn't caught on to that, I don't know. Besides, he looks like $1 million and wrestles like $10 million. So, yeah, John Hudson, I want to work with you. Of course, there's guys like Brady Pierce, my buddy Brady Pierce. Got to include him in. The Heat Seekers. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Heat Seekers. Elliot, Russell, and Matt Sigmund. And I knew my brain just went on freeze. I see David Beardsworth. Y'all, I have my friend David Beardsworth from Perth, Australia. And it was 30 years ago that I was actually living in Australia. And, I think it's around July 1st or so, David. That was the last time I saw you. July 1st, 1989. So I hope everything's going great in Australia, David, out in Perth. And I still, and by the way, I still have some Vegemite that a friend brought me back from Australia years ago. And of all the places Matt Hardy's ever gone, I did ask him once to bring me back cherry ripe candy bars from Australia. So I did get it's been years ago. So he actually brought me back the cherry ripe candy bars because you can't get them here. Unfortunately, I love them. So, so those are some guys. Like I said, Ryan Kidd, John Hudson, Nate Jolly, another guy in Texas I want to work with. A lot of and again, you can look these people up online. Their work's great. Ryan Kidd lives in Mexico now, in Tijuana, and he works the shows. He works for the best luchadors down there. He's trained at CMLL in Mexico. I mean, he's just phenomenal. There's so much great talent out there. Vinny Pacifico from up north, I'd love to use. Colby Carino. I want to get Colby down here. Be great to have him wrestling for us. Rhett Titus. I love Rhett Titus. Talk about underrated. Rhett Titus is criminally underrated and criminally underused by Ring of Honor. Boy, do they have some. Looks like they've got some problems drawing. By the way, I did not see All In. I didn't see the pay-per-view and stuff, or I didn't see the Double or Nothing. I saw the Battle Royal. Hardcore stuff. I'm not goofy stuff. Like I said, I'm not into. I do like, I've done. We used to do weapons matches in Omega Rules matches, we called them, and I mean Jeff Hardy and Shannon Moore pull out light tubes and do crazy things like that. So I'm not against it. You missed a lot, Chad Jones. What do you think? You just coming in here. You knew I was going to be on here. I know you. God knows what I hope you're working out because I know some things you like to do on Friday nights. So, but rat. You might be getting one. Get you so that rat be gone. So, because you ain't the pretty person. Yeah, it was pretty good action. Well, I saw the Cody Rhodes and you had to shower. Oh, I can make too many jokes, and that's okay. I could make more jokes about that, but Derek Vanderford's already got me off on him. So he's trying to. I don't spread people's personal business. He's trying to spread my personal business. So I don't do that on my Facebook chats. And I know this. This thing. It looks like I got 4 chins or something down here. But I don't. It's not that bad. But anyway, I think we're in for heroes to. You had to wash off the road. Heroes to Legends Wrestling. Like I said, not September 20th, September 21st. 3 months from today. Is going to be fantastic. Hope we have I think we'll have an incredible crowd. Because wrestling has not been in that area in a long time. I think, and if it has been wrestling, it ain't been good. And if one thing I can guarantee, that our wrestling will be outstanding professional wrestling. We're not sports entertainment. It will be entertaining. I want the kids to come. It's very kid friendly. It's very women friendly. It's very gay friendly. Because we got hot men's, right? And the kids, I want kids to see superheroes. That's what they think about the WWE guys. I want to see people that are impressive or scary. I mean, Travis Lee makes little kids cry. I like that. So we've got a little something and we've got girls on the show, good-looking women. And so, I mean, we've got something for everyone. You got to give something for everyone. I've always tried to give something for just about everyone. But I know who butters my bread. I know who brings the money in. But it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be excellent. Let's see. Now, before I leave, because I've been talking a long time, I'm just trying to think, who else do I need to bury? Southern got... Did I say enough about George South? Being trained by George South don't do a damn thing for me. And besides, anybody who tries to they got John 3:16. Anybody who tries to use the name of the Lord to make a buck, especially out of a fake fight, among other things. I already mentioned Viper. You late. Chief J. Oh, I ain't mentioning that name. Yeah, hey, if you work for Chief J. Eagle, do not message us about working on our show. Do not. If you say you are trained by Chief J. Eagle, you are not going to be booked on our show. EVER. And if you work there now, you really ain't. And I forgot. Thank you, Mr. Jones, for reminding me of people. So we also, somebody posted Alan Price, a.k.a. Cody Campbell, who's also from Hendersonville. Boy, this Hendersonville show is going to really be... they will go... They're going to have to, so, if you run an outlaw mud show, and you have your sister-in-law is your co-promoter, and she's been known for dealing the gimmicks into his house, and you have registered sex offenders wrestling on your show on a regular basis. Now, it's one thing to have some, have had some legal entanglements, wrestler things, various things. Nobody's perfect. But if you're a registered sex offender and an underage person, you kind of nasty, okay? And you don't need to be around kids like that. So anyway, and if you are having hardcore matches and stuff, and of all people, your sister-in-law is dating Rage Davidson, don't come to me thinking you're going to get booked. And don't put out there that you think you're going to get... No, we don't use people like you. We need to run you out of the wrestling business. Run you out. Run them out. Just run them out of the business. So, no. So, if you want to come work for us, if I have not mentioned your name, Ryan Kidd, Brady Pierce, John Hudson, Thunder Rosa, Nate Jolly, Gregory James, James Drake. Then look at what we were looking for on our Facebook. Look at that. That's what we're looking for. If you don't match it, well, you might as well, depending on what kind of mood I'm in and how bad your post offends me, I may either say, well, we're all booked up, or not in a million years. Or if I really get upset, to quote the gold standard himself, Eddie Rich, ER, take 2 weeks off, come back, and I wouldn't say retire, quit the business. Or I tell you somebody else I kind of got my own. I saw a guy, and he's from out there in the PWF, but this Ace Magnifico. I've seen out of him. I like that too. So maybe if I can get somebody from over that way to book the Ace Magnifico, I'll book Ace Magnifico because I like that gimmick, and he's got a good look to him too. So I think my kids the kids and the women, they'd like him too. So that kid impresses. Every time I see that kid, he certainly impresses me. But just I'll always remember with Thomas Simpson, I don't want anyone older, uglier, or fatter than me, or older and uglier and fatter than me. I can deal with older if you look like $1 million. I can't deal with all three at one time, or maybe even two at the same time. Michael Elliott, you've already missed me burying NAWA. So, but it'll be on for live to watch for all the time. So it's okay. But yeah. So like I said, you can look for Heroes to Legends Wrestling on Facebook, Instagram, the Twitter, YouTube when we start having the shows, because we'll have some promo videos. We'll have wrestling matches on there. It's all about the live shows. You're going to have a great experience coming to the live shows. September 21st, Silver National Guard Armory. Fight for Danny. Just for fabulous, fabulous card of wrestling. And I ain't giving away but 2 matches, Chad. So, just 2. But yeah, it's going to be exciting and wonderful. And so then also Pro Wrestling Union, Batesburg, Leesville, Saturday, October the 5th at the Batesburg Leisure Center. I'll be there, certainly. Randy Wayne will be there, creating havoc. Then Abbeville, South Carolina. And I don't think I'm out of turn saying the name of the promotion. I think Tanner's going to call it Conquest Wrestling. The Livery Stable, Abbeville, South Carolina. Saturday, November the 2nd. Thomas Simpson Wrestling, teaming with Randy Wayne. Somebody's going to get beat up. Because there's got to be somebody. I don't know who I'm going to challenge. I'm going to come out and challenge somebody, I think. See if they got the guts to come to my hometown of Abbeville, South Carolina, and give them a Hagler Street extension beating. Because everybody knows how we do it on Hagler Street. That's like that. I live in the last house on the left on Hagler Street. So, yeah, I'm just saying it's going to be great. So, yeah, and I know I've talked some trash about people and stuff, but, y'all, it is not things you have not heard from me before. So I don't want anyone saying that, oh, Thomas will say this in one place and not say it publicly. Hey, I've said it publicly now. I've buried the people that need to be buried, or the people I'm warning you about, charlatans. If you want to go get good wrestling training, for God's sake, go up to Dr. Tom Pritchard's school. Go up there. Go up to Knoxville. I mean, he's a living treasure. He's a treasure. A wrestling treasure. The only one I think, as far as training wrestlers we've got in this country. Go to Dr. Tom's. If you go to high spots, by God, at least go to work with Jake and Jay Manning and Caleb Conley. They're the ones who are going to teach you the real business. Sure ain't going to be no Zane Riley either, because he's a nasty old thing. A Buffalo would destroy Hagler Street in a semi-main event. Derek, I done tried to wrestle you before, and it's no, it ain't happening. So I mean, just there's good places to train. I would even say, I love Ricky Morton, but the School of Morton, I mean, it's run by James Strange. That's another outlaw mud show goof I could tell stories about. He's an idiot. I know, I used to book for him. Moron. He's no good either. All good thing to come out of Tennessee, I know. Oh, speaking of Tennessee people, Axton Ray. I book Axton Ray too. Axton Ray's phenomenal. Phenomenal young talent. He's going to go somewhere big in the business. He's going to really be, I think he'll make, he's going to end up working for WWE and really making a lot of money. Making a lot of money. So, yeah. Good Brothers Wrestling School. Yeah, over there in that Tyson Dean trains for Luke Gallows. Yes, yeah. James McComb, don't start me on Strange Strange. Same thing. Me either. Derek, shut up. You're not getting into. You don't even have a license, fool. So don't be trying to start an angle you ain't gonna be able to finish. So don't even start. And you might come in. I tell you what, if you want to come, you manage against me. But I done try. You poked Kirby Mack in the eyes one time, or grabbed his nose for real or something. I wish you'd have done worse than that. I wish you'd have dropped him on his. I wish you'd have dropped him on his head for that Hawaiian sat on it. Listen to me talking ill about him. Of course, then again, Team Craption talked ill about me earlier this year or last year when I was having my difficulties and stuff. So they got a receipt. Well, the good Lord already gave them the receipt, but I deserve to talk trash about them, right? Yeah, I deserve it. So let me say, y'all got any questions? I'm kind of hitting my stride. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got questions? Bit his nose. Oh, you bit Kirby's nose. Well, I hope you got your rabies shot after that. Or either I hope you it bit your nose. Did it taste like crap? Because he's had his nose stuck up so many butts, especially like my hottie butt. After he was stiff with your big nose. Jeez. Mom, this is Mom Carino. I saw like one bit of it, and because the Viceland wouldn't give me but a half hour on the free thing, so I was not able to see the entire bit, but I did see Alice in Danger on there, and I know the show's kind of old tapes and stuff. And I actually had, crazy thing is, speaking of Alice in Danger, I need to call her and get her address again because I saw like 30 minutes of the show, and what I saw was really, really good. And I've always I've always been fascinated by those the wrestling cholitas in Bolivia. I was aware of that. I remember when they first got some publicity, back when they started. And I've always been that's kind of, if I have a bucket list of things to do, I would love to go to Bolivia and actually sit and see that. Because I have been to Arena, Mexico and stuff, and seen wrestling in Mexico. But that would be neat to do. So what I saw there was, I thought, excellent. So I want to see all of her stuff for sure. But I need to get her address because I've bought like 5 different things, Star Wars things for Kindle. And I need to send them to her. I found something yesterday. Hey, Five Below and Dollar General. It's amazing what you can find there for a fraction of the price of what they were in the store. So I got like enough stuff to put in and I'm going to have to get it all boxed up and sent to her. Luckily, thank you. Thanks for sending me your address. But I've got we've got a packaging place near right up the road from me. So I need to do that tomorrow. That was on my list to do things tomorrow. So she'll get a big package from Uncle TDAWG or Uncle Boom. Uncle Boom Boom. Okay, so y'all, if you're wondering about things, some of y'all know me as TDAWG. Some of you know me as TDAWG HG. Some of you know Thomas. The Carinos call me Boom Boom, and they've called me Boom Boom for years. I was the original Boom Boom before Cabana. Okay, Cole Cabana stole Boom Boom from Thomas Simpson because he heard the Carinos use it, and I stick to that story. I will stick to that story. Whether he agrees with it or not, I was the first Boom Boom. Okay, that was fair. So any other questions? Well, I've got a few people on here now. Anybody want to know any questions? And Derek, if you want to come to Abbeville and do something, that's fine. But you have to talk to Tanner for 1 and 2. Hell, I can't get you to do nothing in Union, much less to come to Abbeville to do anything. So there you go. So anybody got questions? Y'all just gonna leave me hanging? Any other wisdom that y'all want to hear from me? Anybody else you want to hear me bury, or ask if I ask any questions? Who do you like or not like? Have you forgiven Sean Hernandez yet? Oh, you mean Hernandez from the TNA that gave Kirby a collapsed lung? Have I forgiven him? Yeah, I guess so. Although he's too old, he's old. And he kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I would say I forgive him. Anybody that did anything bad to the Max back then, except Michael Judas, I'm sorry for the rest of you that I ever did anything mean to you. Maybe even Phil Shatter, even whatever he is now. I would say even I forgive Phil Shatter for what he did, but I don't forgive him for being a jackass. Hendersonville show, probably January. West Henderson High School. That's all I got to say about that. And I'll just say more. The wrestling coach at West Henderson, they're actually having their camp this summer. Was the and they're in the camp right now. So the West Henderson high school wrestling coach is actually a former professional wrestler, Mike Conley, and one of my really very close friends. So for years, going back 20 years. So yeah, I get over 20 years now actually. So yeah, I love Mike, and I know they're trying to raise money for their wrestling program, and of course, first thing I do, let me come run West Henderson. So best set of titties I've ever played with. Woo! I don't quite know. Real or fake? Anyway. Oh, I could run. Yeah, I'm gonna show people how to run a show. I'd let him buy it. I know you're talking about Viper Barrett, but I'd let him buy a ticket. Otherwise, remember, I will have my kendo stick on me. Velvet Sky. I didn't play with Velvet Skies. No, I did not play. No, just because you've seen pictures of me and her up against each other doesn't mean anything. I don't know. I played with. I don't remember playing with any that I come to think of. Bye, Mom. I'll see you later. Love you. Tell Dad I said hey. And behave. I hope he's behaving. I ain't counting on it, but you love him. And y'all, if you wonder, Mom and Dad to me are Frank and Marianne Carino. I reverse that. Okay, Marianne and Frank Carino, Steve's parents. So that's what I call Mom and Dad in half a years. My parents are Mama and Pop. Okay, so or Mom and Daddy. Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I just I'm trying to think. Maybe I accidentally or something. Why are y'all wanting to get into my personal stuff tonight? First, I got Derek going on one end of the spectrum, and I got William Scoggins and Chad Jones on the other end. Jeez. I'm trying to at least keep this family. I've given a few S-bombs and some language that I don't know. My mama wouldn't mind. She used that before too. But still, I try to at least make it somewhat family friendly. So, I mean, anything else? So I kind of told about the thing. And again, September 21st. I thought it was the 20th. I'm getting things too mixed up. And I will be at the gathering in Charlotte. And Chad Jones, I need to talk to you about that because I got an idea to make some money while you're there making money, to make extra money. Well, I'm not talking about an evil. I'm not talking about my personal sexual proclivities questions. It's I know it said questions, but yeah. You're gonna stomp on the rest of the feelings I missed today. I love that. By the way, I did love that thing you said about hurting, hurting, hurting feelings since 1968. I don't know. I was pretty nice growing up. I mean, as I tell people, being bullied as a kid in the wrestling business have made me mean. Have made me real mean. But I'm not as mean as I used to be. I hadn't tried to get anybody fired from WWE in what? 12 years, something like that. So I mean, hey, I'm okay. I'm nicer. Anyway, I'm done, y'all. I gotta talk with Mr. Jones about some of that business. So love everybody. God bless you. Pray for me. I'm still recovering. Just remember the foot. So but I had to be off by July 20th so I can go walk into SmackDown. So yeah, stupid people loot my business has made me evil too. Yes, the Sith still rule wrestling. Don't ever forget that. All right, y'all. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye bye.